The year is 2003. The tech world is in bad shape. Companies are going broke.
I can't eat! I'm broke now!
And the USA is recovering from a major disaster. Wink wink. Everyone is looking for the hero. And then she walks in. Her name is Elizabeth Holmes, 19 years old, Stanford dropout, terrified of needles, but extremely confident. Which in Silicon Valley means you're a f***ing genius.
I'm a genius! I build robots for—
She decides to start a company called Theranos, which is a mix of therapy and diagnosis. Groundbreaking stuff. Her pitch? A machine that could run 200 medical tests, from cholesterol to even cancer, using just a single drop of blood. It was fast, it was cheap, it was brilliant. It was also completely biologically impossible. And Silicon Valley placed $9 billion into this machine.
This is the worst!
Now, to fully understand how this happened, you first need to understand Elizabeth Holmes herself. First of all, she created a character. She wore a black turtleneck every single day because she wanted to be Steve Jobs so bad. She supposedly trained herself to never blink, staring at investors like a sleep-deprived owl. In fact, there would be meetings where Elizabeth would simply stare at people in complete silence. And most famously, she adopted a deep, weird voice.
Invented the traditional laboratory infrastructure.
It sounded like a teenager trying to buy alcohol while standing on another teenager's shoulders.
I was shocked when I heard her voice. That is a voice you don't forget.
It turned out he had a nub on his elbow.
Sure, yeah. Over the last 11 years, we've...
Hello.
But she wasn't alone. Enter Ramesh Sani Balwani. He was an older, wealthy tech executive who became her boyfriend and Theranos' chief operational officer. Together, they ran the company like a tech dystopia cult. If an engineer raised their hand and said, "Hey, this machine is actually exploding and giving false results," they were immediately fired and threatened by corporate lawyers.
I own you. You're my bitch.
And somehow, this all worked.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
Investors loved her. And when I say investors, I'm not talking about doctors or scientists. No, I mean investors. And that's a big difference, because if Theranos had been evaluated by medical professionals, well, the story would have ended immediately, and I wouldn't be here today making this video. Elizabeth's true genius wasn't science. It was manipulating old, powerful men. She bypassed actual medical experts and went straight to the boardroom of political dinosaurs. We are talking about Henry Kissinger, former Secretary of State, George Shultz, another former Secretary of State, James Mattis, which is future Secretary of Defense.
What the hell is that?
None of these guys knew damn thing about biology, but they saw a young woman staring at them in a turtleneck and threw money at her. In fact, Rupert Murdoch personally dropped $125 million into the company after a single meeting. Safeway and Walgreens signed massive contracts to put these fake machines into their stores. At its peak, Theranos was valued at $9 billion, and Forbes named Elizabeth the youngest female billionaire in Galaxy. All powered by a machine that didn't even work. The machine in question was called the Edison. And it was supposed to be a medical miracle. It was supposed to perform hundreds of tests from microscopic blood samples. In reality, it didn't do shit. Inside the company, engineers repeatedly warned management that the technology was unstable, and in some cases, it was really dangerous. This was not ideal feedback, so Theranos created a smart corporate solution. They fired everyone. Employees who raised concerns were removed, isolated, threatened by lawyers, or followed by private investigators. And meanwhile, the actual testing process became increasingly absurd. Customers would walk into Walgreens, a tiny amount of blood would be collected. The sample would then quietly disappear into the bag. What Theranos employees would dilute it because the sample size was too small, and then transferred it into normal commercial analyzers secretly purchased from CNMeds to run the actual tests. Just one tiny problem. Because they were diluting the blood before sticking to standard machines, the results were wrong. People were getting told they had prostate cancer when they didn't, or getting cleared for HIV when they actually had it.
You are HIV Aladdin?
Not just a financial fraud, it was a biological horror show. But none of this seems to matter because Theranos was here to stay. They were completely untouchable. Elizabeth, Sunny Boy, but officially on top of the world, and they will change humanity forever. The beginning of the end came from the inside. Remember George Shultz? His own grandson, Tyler Shultz, got a job at Theranos and realized the whole place was a scam. He became a whistleblower, teaming up with a reporter for the Wall Street Journal called John Kerry Rio. His name was John, okay? In 2015, John dropped a bomb of an expose revealing that the Edison machine was a fraud. Elizabeth tried to defend it. This is what happens when you try to change things, she said. First they think you're crazy, then they fight you, then all of a sudden, you change the world.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
She did not change the world. The feds raided the place. By 2018, Theranos was dead. Its value downgraded up to zero. And Elizabeth and Sunny were indicted on massive federal fraud charges. Elizabeth knew she was in deep shit, so she changed her tactics.
I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move.
From tech visionary to sympathetic mom. While awaiting trial, she ditched Sunny Balwani, started dating a millionaire named Billy Evans, got married, and immediately got pregnant. Twice.
There's two of them!
Critics pointed out the timing was pretty convenient. It's a lot harder for a jury to send a new mother to a hardcore federal prison. At her trial in late 2021, her lawyer tried everything. Elizabeth even took the stand, dropped the fake deep voice, and accused Sunny Balwani of abusing and controlling her.
Should go right to f***ing jail! The son of a...
The jury didn't buy it completely, though. They convicted her on 4 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy for scamming investors. She was sentenced to 11 years in prison and ordered to pay $452 million in restitution. In May 2023, she traded her black turtlenecks for prison scrubs and reported to the federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas. If you thought prison would break her, you don't know Elizabeth Holmes.
Psych!
She is treating federal prison like a corporate networking retreat. She spends her time jogging around the track, lifting weights, and hanging out with her new bestie and fellow inmate, a woman called Ghislaine or something.
No, God!
But the real action is happening outside the fence. Because on March 26, 2026, Elizabeth pulled off an absolute legal heist. A federal judge shaved a full year off her prison sentence. With that reduction and good behavior, she is on track to hit a halfway house by late 2028. And prepare for the sequel, baby! Because she is already building her next company from her cell. The federal government sounded the alarm, revealing that Elizabeth's husband, Billy Evans, has launched a stealth medical diagnostic startup called Heymanthus.
I know what kind of man you are.
According to the feds, Elizabeth has been advising him on how to raise capital from prison. In fact, the government noted that this new company is working on a prototype device that has striking similarities to the Theranos device.
They're the same picture.
Even Tyler Schultz, the original whistleblower, weighed in recently, telling the media that Elizabeth's fingerprints are all over it. Meanwhile, she's been tweeting on her active X account, claiming her absolute innocence, arguing she is a victim of a weaponized justice system, and begging Donald Trump for a full presidential pardon. In conclusion, Elizabeth Holmes scammed the smartest minds in America, risked the lives of actual patients, got a year taken off her sentence, and is currently running a medical startup from a Texas prison yard. You can take away her fortune, but you can never take away her absolute audacity.